All right, everybody, welcome. I called this course Autoresponder Magic. I don't know why. That was just a little fun copy this afternoon. And we are going to walk through setting up an autoresponder, all the concepts behind it and different ideas on how to use it. And I have my friend Susie here, and she is brand new. She just literally got her account, so it's not set up at all. And we are going to set it up. And then we're going to get into some more advanced stuff, not advanced, but just some different functionality and things. And then we're going to talk a little bit about different ways that you can use the tool, how to have multiple little lists going, etc. And then if we find that everybody loves this and wants to do some more advanced work, we certainly can do another class or get into copywriting. Or tonight may be all you need, which is perfect. Susie, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Awesome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you, if you scroll down towards the bottom of the screen, you'll see a green little share.
Yep.
There, can you click share and make sure there's nothing weird on your computer that anybody will see. I always like,
there's nothing weird.
you never know.
You never know.
We will see your computer. So, because people are like shopping on Amazon, they don't realize what's up.
Right. Okay.
Things, so, weird. So, in fact, I've had people see things at once. All right, so go ahead and hit that share button, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Great. If you could make that your whole, it's like your windows down. So
like that?
Yes. Can you actually make it the whole thing? Because I'm like attention deficit, so when
like that?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Now, guys, the reason why I use Aweber, and there's a lot of different autoresponders out there. There's Aweber, there's GetResponse, there's Drip, there's MailChimp. There's all different options, and you can use whatever you want. This is the one I use, and you can talk to every internet marketer, and they'll all have a discussion on why one is better and one is worse or whatever. Pick what you want. But this does have a 30-day free trial. So it's great because somebody can try it out and mess with it and take a class with me. And then if they decide they like another one better, they can move on. So, okay, great. So do you have a website?
I do, yes.
Great. Put that in there.
Okay. Oh, we're having trouble verifying.
Back up. Put the cursor in front of Susie.
Yep.
Okay. And put HTTP. Get rid of, I'm sorry, yeah, and get rid of www.
Gotcha. Okay.
HTTP:// Let's see if it picks it up. We're having trouble hearing your website.
You know what? I am having some work. Someone is working on it for me, so maybe they have it disabled or something at the moment.
Okay, so then what we're going to do, well, for the moment, just put no, I don't have a website. You can come back and fix this later. It's not a problem. And by the way, if you guys don't have a website, it doesn't matter. You don't need a website to run an autoresponder, as I will show you. Okay. Now, your address, guys, you have to put an address by law. Your address has to appear on the bottom of your emails. If you want to have a P.O. box or you want to have a super address at mailboxes, etc., whatever, that's up to you. But whatever address you put will show on the emails because by law, the emails have to show the origin. So, and if for any reason you need to change that at a later date, that's fine. Go ahead and scroll down. Okay. So see where it says email from, you have Susan capitalized and Bill's not. So I would just uncapitalize like Susan, make it like regular Susan. Okay. And then over here, let's talk about this for a minute. When somebody gets your emails, they might want to hit reply to write back to you. And also this is the address that the email's coming from.
Okay.
And a lot of email companies, what they do is they screen out emails that come from Gmail, Hotmail, like that, Yahoo.
Okay.
You may want to look into setting up an email address at your website. Do you have a blog or what do you have, Susie?
I do actually, and I have a website. I have a Susie at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would put that there.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then do you have that forwarded to your regular box so you get those emails?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, because whatever you guys put, and if you don't have your own email address right now, don't worry, put in your Gmail or whatever you have. But you're going to want to look into, you can get them at GoDaddy. There's all different ways to get an email address. It's very inexpensive. It's not, sometimes it's free depending on what you have going on. And you want to make sure that you put a real email address in there, because if the prospect hits reply and wants to sign up or buy something for you and has a question and they can't get an email back to you, you're going to miss sales. And that's why they don't recommend you use Gmail and those addresses, because you may not get the email back.
Okay.
So again, you happen to have one, which is excellent. For those of you that don't, just set it up for today. And Anastasia, I saw you put a question or something. I'll look in 1 second. Set it up for today, and then let's figure out your email address situation, and then you can go back and edit it. I'll show you when we go into my account where you do that. So go ahead and hit next. Okay. Now, we're going to create your very first list.
Okay.
The first list I like people to create is just their personal newsletter.
Okay.
So you might want to put Susie's newsletter, something like that. Okay, and I would capitalize the N. I'll explain why later. Okay, and then put a little description, like news and updates from Susie Bills. Whatever you like.
Gotcha. I'll spend a little time on that later. News and updates. Spell my name. Okay. Okay.
And it is visible at times. Nobody's sitting and contemplating it, so this is not something that, my mentor always said, you don't got to get it right, you just got to get it going. And what will happen is people get caught up in something like that. And it's not a big deal. If you want to write something more robust, do. But what I wouldn't do is hesitate to keep moving.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and do next, and let me check and see what the chat was. Oh yeah, we got it all set. We're good. Thank you, Anastasia. Okay, so your language is English. Okay, now Aweber will send out an email to people that people will opt in and put in their name and email to receive your newsletter, and then they're going to send them an email and say, did you want to receive the newsletter? Which I think is dumb, because they just said they wanted to,
right.
didn't they? Right? But they will, and we're going to show you how to turn it off in a little bit if you care to, but they will get this email and you can edit it. So look at where it says subject line. There's a pull down menu.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and pull that menu down. And you can pick any one of those you want. Do not pick one with the first name or the name. I will also
okay.
a little one.
Okay. Let's do a little bit of that.
Okay.
Fires, so they know.
And then the message that's in there says, please click the button below to confirm that you'd like to receive email from, and it would say Susie's newsletter.
Okay.
If you would like to edit that, you can. You can click on it and you can edit.
Okay.
Right?
I'll leave it for now, but yes.
Yeah, you can't edit the top part, but you can edit the body of the letter.
In here, okay.
Edit. Mm-hmm. So you might want to say, so excited that you decided to subscribe to my newsletter. I have some incredible tips for you. Click below to confirm, or whatever you want to say. If you need help, those words, let me know. This is fine, but the more customized, the more it feels personal. And then remember where it says thank you, it's going to fill in whatever company name you put.
Okay.
Okay? So scroll down and hit the green button to move on. Hit that green button.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you have a newsletter.
Yay!
Yay! Simple. So you guys, is anybody else brand new tonight? Just setting up like brand new? And if so, did you follow along okay? Anybody have any questions? I mean, it was not terribly difficult. Y'all pay me $27 to teach you to fill with your name and address. No, you didn't. You didn't. Big bucks. So everybody's good? I'm looking. I'm not seeing any comments. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to customize a little bit more over here. So you see on the top right where it says list options. in that gray bar, I should say. Okay, pull that down. Okay, and what we're going to do is go to list settings. Exactly. Okay, scroll that down. And by the way, when you guys want to come back, if you want to come back and edit any of this stuff, this is where you do it, under list options, list settings. Okay.
Okay.
Hold down. Let me see all these settings here. See if there's anything we have to change here. Scroll down a little. Right. Okay. Now, where it says notifications, subscriber, it's going to send you an email at that address. If you send to another address as well, you could always add it there.
Okay.
And to, you know, another person, maybe you had a business partner or something that needs to know when you have a lead, whatever the case may be. So everything's fine there. So scroll back up. Up. Okay, so personalize your list.
Okay. Okay, company branding.
Okay. So again, here we can put your website URL. Try putting it in now.
With HTTP?
Yeah. It might need HTTPS. Let me look at your site.
Oh, HTTP.
It might need the S. Is it coming up for me? It says your site is currently private, so they must.
Okay, they're working on it. Yeah, we'll take that out.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, your email signature. Okay. This here is where you can put, you know, like it just automatically fills in on the bottom of your email, your name and your contact information, etc. We are going to do that, and we're not going to do it right now, because what I'm going to do is show you guys mine, and then you can model after it. Maybe we'll go do that now. But also, any of you that are selling anything opportunity related, you need a disclaimer saying something to the effect of results are not typical, they can vary, they're based upon your own efforts, etc. You need to have a disclaimer, okay? And it also needs to say, and I'll show you examples, it needs to say that if somebody clicks a link in the email, you might earn a commission. Legally, you must reveal that. Now, there's a lot of small marketers that run around and don't do it. And one, either because they don't, two, because they think they just worry about it. But all you need is to be involved with a company that has a legality, which I have already, which wasn't on purpose, but it happened. All you need is to be on the radar, and you can get yourself in trouble. So you want to cover yourself. For those that happen to have an attorney or use Legal Shield or anything like that, you can have an attorney create one for you, but there's many standard ones available on the internet that you can just put in there. If you have a logo, guys, I happen to have a logo. You can upload your logo so that it shows up in certain places in your Aweber. If you don't have a logo, here's what's great. There's so many little programs out there now that you can create a logo on in 2 minutes for free, or for a couple bucks. Or you can go to Fiverr and have a logo created. Do you need one to get going? Absolutely not. Okay, scroll down a little bit more. Oh, and by the way, the logo has to be a certain size. I think if you click on upload your logo, and it'll tell you that it has to be, click on that, if you would. Click on the words.
Oh, over here, there it is. Our
yeah, upload your logo. Right. Yep. That's okay. I try to give good directions, but
yep.
Okay, so see where it says the file has to be no more than 1.5 megabytes in size. Now, what I want you to know is don't use too big of a file, because if you do, it like blows up in certain locations.
Okay, right.
Smaller file there. Let me see. Somebody asked a question. Would you use your personal picture for the logo? You can, Jackie. You sure can. I'll show you a couple places where it might show up so that you can get an idea of what it would look like. I do use my Diane Hochman logo. Sure, you could. Absolutely. Good question. Your social media. You can connect your autoresponder to your social media so that it posts when you send out a letter. Two sides to that, because you can send out a letter and it posts to Twitter and Facebook, and maybe more people will see it. On the flip side, if everybody can see it out on social, why would they subscribe? So I don't. but you can kind of decide depending on how you're using the lists that you've created. You can decide. Now, what we're going to teach you in a little bit is you can create more than one list for different jobs. Like you might have one to train your team, one for new prospects, one for existing customers. So you may have one list that you would like to broadcast. But my personal newsletter that I write to my constituents or whatever, I do not broadcast. I do not put it on social media.
And question, so do you mean the actual verbiage would show up as a post? Okay.
Yep, the whole letter would show up.
Okay.
So on Twitter, it would be a link to it because Twitter doesn't take that much copy, but on Facebook, it will be the whole letter.
Okay.
Yep. And then scroll down a little bit more. See where it says broadcast archive? Go back up a little bit.
Oh, a little bit up. Oh, broadcast archive. Yep.
Guys, it will create for you, if you want, Jackie, I'll answer your question in 1 second. It will create for you, if you want, an archive of everything you write as what's called a broadcast, okay? Let me explain this. When you have an autoresponder, you can pre-write letters or even buy letters from someone or hire me to write them, whatever you want. You can have a pre-written set of letters that's in there that's set to go out on certain days. Or you can write what's called broadcasts and you write them live. Like after this, I didn't get a chance to do it yet today. After this webinar, I will write my list a note. That's called a broadcast. And by the way, all these concepts, broadcasts and letter sets and stuff, I'm going to go over them multiple times as we go through. So if any of you guys are not catching it yet, one, feel free to ask questions. And two, I'm going to cover it again and again throughout the hour and a half. So you'll get clear as we go. But I want to explain while we're doing this setup that you can have an archive visible with all your letters, or you cannot have an archive. I will show you my archive momentarily. You don't have one yet, so we can't preview yours, but I'll show you what it looks like, and that's where your logo might show up. And then your unsubscribe page, you can click on that. When somebody decides that they don't want to hear from you anymore, they're going to end up at this page. Your logo would show up here if you upload one, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so everybody, oh, you're welcome, Anastasia. I will be repeating everything over and over and over. Keep putting it into you. So this is the unsubscribe page, and if you had uploaded a logo, we would see whether it looks awkward or not. Like sometimes somebody uploads a huge picture, and then it's like the picture is big and the unsubscribe's down here. So seen that.
And the logo is up here, like in this area, exactly. At the top of there. Okay.
Exactly. And I will show you mine in a little bit. Okay. So yeah, go ahead back. It's actually up at the top. It's in your tabs. That one popped up separate.
Over here?
Yeah, looks like. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to talk to you too much right now about global text snippets.
Okay.
But what that is let's say I was writing a letter set for your whole downline, Susie, right? And I wanted to give them this set of letters, and I wanted to set it up so that their link filled in with their username. Maybe your company has, username dot, buymystuff.com. I can write it and set it up so that all they do is fill in their name in this spot with load for them.
Okay.
There's a lot of different neat usages for global text snippets. Yeah, like this one says, let's say you own a bakery and you wanted to put the store hours. You could just switch the snippet instead of having to re-edit every letter.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's kind of like the signature file that we're going to learn about in a minute. That will show up on every letter, and so will global snippets if you insert them. So it's like, if you were using a word processing program, it would be called a macro back in the day when we used WordPerfect or whatever. That's what it's called. You'd set up some copy, some words, and then you could just put a little symbol and it would populate that. It would put that in. So let me see what the questions are. If you have more than one list, is there any way to combine them into your newsletter? Jackie, they're all separate and individual lists, but there is a way to send an email to all of the lists or 2 of the lists or 3 of the lists at a time, which I will show you that as well. Ed, I saw you raised your hand. Can you write your question in the chat if you have one? How's everybody doing so far? Everything seem like okay, even if you don't fully get it, because I'll show you it in action. Nobody's saying yes or no. So
Yeah. Yep.
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Excellent. Okay. Wait. One more. Kara, I'll show you about the archive shortly. Yeah, I would. The archive's great, and I'll show you why in a little bit. In fact, who would like all 1,700 broadcasts I've ever written? Anybody want them?
Can you see me? Can you see me over here?
You want them? Once I show you what my archive is, you'll have access to them. So I will show you where they are. Okay. Yeah, me.
Okay. All right.
You got to dig through a lot of stuff, but there is some gold in there.
I bet
There's some gold in there. I don't know. Is that worth 27 bucks?
I think so.
I love when people like, so like I had one guy, he's like, well, what am I going to get out of this? And I said, absolutely nothing. It's not for you. Get out of here.
27 bucks.
No, he really was. He was like giving me a hard time. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like the top affiliate out of 130,000 people at one company. And I'm this, and I've been around for 20 years, but you're not going to get anything out of it. It's 27 bucks. I need to convince you to take it. All right. Let us scroll back up, please.
Okay.
Okay. And then also click on confirmation message on the left.
Okay.
And we already saw this before, the initial setup, but if you guys ever want to change your confirmation message, you can here, because when you set up a new list, the next one after this, it won't take you through the same process like you're brand new. So what I wanted you, Susie, I wanted your account to show this initial process. And
okay.
So,
okay.
So your list is set up. Okay? Now, we don't have a signature in there yet, but we're going to learn about that in a minute, and then you can go back in. And in fact, guys, make a note. All of you, make a note. If you don't have your own email, make a note. Check into getting my own email. Okay? You guys may not own a domain name. And then you can buy, go to GoDaddy.com and buy a domain name for $12.95 cash money, big bucks, right? And everybody thinks if I buy a website name, I have to build a website. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay. Now there's all kinds of things you can do with that website without building a whole website. And then you can also set up an email at that domain. So I'm scrappy, guys. I started out and had no money on a super like slim budget. And I watch people and they dump so much money on so much stuff that they don't need, especially for those of you that are in network marketing. You do not need all of this stuff. Somebody's just telling you you need all of it. You don't need all of this stuff. What you need is a way to communicate. And this is just another way to communicate and be able to communicate with more people faster, which is the name of the game today. Let's do these questions. Okay. Kara says, my broadcasts are priceless. Thank you, Kara. Bridget, if you have a website, it does not mean you have an email address, but you can set one up. So it's not automatic, no. If you have actually WordPress installed, and again, guys, let me give you a concept. And I don't know the technical skills of all of you guys, but this is what you want to do. You're like the military. You're on a need-to-know basis, okay? If there's something you need to know, learn it. If it's not something that you need to know today to generate leads or make sales, go like this, right? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. So if I say something, somebody asks me a question, it's a little bit more advanced, and I talk about whether you have WordPress installed, and you don't know what WordPress is, go, okay? If you do know what WordPress is, and you do know what some of this is, awesome, listen, okay? Trust me, if you ask me a question, I'll give you my best advice on what you need. And Greg is a top networker, has been for years. He said, been there, bought that, and then some. Simplicity, that's why you're the queen, Diane. Thank you, Greg. And Greg is a top networker. And I work with a lot of, seven-figure earners. And I watch them. They have all this stuff. They bought all this stuff. I work with a lot of people that haven't done really well yet, and they have all this stuff. I have like 3 things. Now, am I the queen of Sheba, the top earner, the this and that? No, I'm not. I'm not trying to be. But I am a very successful marketer who's been around the block. And what I do know is if you want to become an internet marketer, first of all, I'm not your teacher. I can refer you to some of the best of the best, but I'm not your teacher, okay? And there's a lot you need to know, and there's things you need to invest in. If you're a network marketer, then there's minimal things you need to invest in, but you need to take them seriously. And if you're a hybrid in the middle, well, that's going to depend for you. Some people want to have ClickFunnels or MLSP or this or that or all these different tools, and I can speak to all of them. And some of them are great investments if you're going to use them. If you're not going to use them, not great investment. And here's the one tool that I would never be without as an autoresponder. Period. Now. Period over now. Because I can work offline with an autoresponder, delivering online, but I can work offline with an autoresponder. I can work online with an autoresponder. I can work locally. I can work long distance. An autoresponder is a key tool. And when you're starting out, first month's free and it costs $20 a month. It's not a big expenditure. A lot of people are investing in things that are $300 and $500 a month when they don't have any cash flow. And I'll get off the soapbox because that's another story for another day. Susie, you have done an excellent job. Can you please stop your screen share?
Thank you. Yes. And, there's the red button.
There you go. Now, would you like to hang out or do you want to?
Yes, I would like to hang out.
Good. Have it here. Is there anybody else that desperately wants to come on this side? You have to behave yourself, though. Otherwise, Susie will. If there's anybody else that desperately wants to come over here with me, you can, as long as you have a mic and Ed was just pushing buttons. He raised I said, ask in the chat. I was just pushing buttons. All right, every little kid does. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into my Aweber account. And I always tell everybody to brace yourself. Because everybody thinks that to be a big marketer, you have to have this huge, monstrous list of tens of thousands of people and all this other stuff. And my list, guys, is about 4,500 people. It goes up to 6. I clean it out. It goes down. I happen to clean it recently, so it's down low. There's not one person on that newsletter that doesn't know exactly who I am. One person that doesn't know exactly who I am. Build my list in a very specific way, which I'll explain. But that doesn't mean that has to be the way you do it. So if you're working warm market, because again, I'm an old networker, I'm working warm market, I'm building a warm market list. It's never going to be as big. But the value of the subscribers is tremendous because they're warm, they know me, they trust me, right? I actually try to not have strangers on my list because of the way I write. Other people are running a lot of ads and plowing a lot of people through, and what they're doing is they're sorting through the people once they're in the list. Let me draw a little picture. Can you see that? Oh no, I'm not sharing my screen. Got to share my screen in order for that to work. Okay. I'm going to close down all this stuff that might be saying weird things. Okay, nothing says anything weird. That's good. I'm going to draw a picture. Okay. Some of you guys have seen me do this before, because you've seen it and you haven't executed it. Watch it again. Okay. You wouldn't be here if you've executed it. Okay. This is where the person gives us permission to talk to them. Okay. It could be that they went to a capture page that we built. It could be our blog. It could be, guys, Aweber has an app on your phone where you could just be talking to someone, take their email and put it right in your app. So you do not need to have a big fancy website, but what we all need, and the whole basis of this concept, is permission marketing, which is a famous book that Seth Godin wrote in the 90s. Godin, Godin, Seth Godin. A list in email marketing is when somebody says, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like that information. I'd like that free report. I'd like the ebook you're giving away, whatever it may be. So it could be a capture page. It could be verbally. It could be, there's a lot of different ways you could get their permission. This right here is your first communication. Sorry, that's cut off. Okay. And this is when you're establishing the relationship with them and reconfirming, hey, you wanted to hear from me, and getting them on board. And then these stars, which go to infinity, are all the letters we're going to write them. Excuse me. Tickle. Not gone yet. Hi, welcome to my webinar. If I choke, Greg, you can have all my Joe Schroeder things. Only Greg. All right. You have a lot of them, but you don't have nearly as much as me. This is the basic model, okay? Traditional network marketing is I don't have permission, I prospect someone, okay? And then I see where they are, okay? Attraction marketing and email marketing is I publish something or I say something that caused the person to have interest and they give me permission, okay? So I only want people in my list that actually know me. I've already pre-sorted them. I don't even want them in the list if they don't know me. Other marketers like to run ads and Facebook things and Facebook Lives and all this other stuff, and they drive them to a giveaway or something that causes more people to opt in. So more people opt in, but the people don't really have a relationship with them. And then the letters do the sorting, trying to pare down who's the right people. I don't let anybody in unless they're the right people. Just a little bit of a different philosophy. Another marketer will tell you you want as many people as you can humanly get. I will tell you I want to make sure it's only people that dig me. Why? Because I hate rejection. Why? Because I love serving the people that want to be served by me, that connect to me. Why? Because I like writing to my list in my own persona, not in a sales persona. Other people love sales copy. So you can go either way, and there's nothing wrong with either way. I just figured out that I was like a housewife, and I wanted to just talk to people en masse. And it developed from there. Other people are truly trained sales people. If you don't have, and the reason why I teach it the way I do, and this course tonight is not about my theory, it's just about setting things up and getting them going. The reason why I do this the way I do is because the average networker has a warm market of 300 to 500 people with social media and people that they know. And if they invited people to an autoresponder newsletter so that they could get the word out about different things faster and easier, they would catapult. They would catapult. So I like teaching, speaking in your own terms and not getting all hypey, etc. I'm not an internet marketer, so I use it a little different. Does that make any sense, Susie? Go ahead.
Yes, question. So when you're getting, like you said, you do the sorting, you pre-sort, where are those people coming from? Is that just people you know?
They're people that I invite, people that, in my particular case, I do have a website. So people that go to my website, I'll show you some tricks on how you can set up things that are not full websites, but that will do the trick. A lot of it is inviting. I'm constantly inviting on Facebook. If you guys watch me, I'm just saying, hey, jump on my newsletter, this out today. Hey, I have a great deal on Zoom. If you're on my newsletter, you'll get it. Hey, I'm sending out a video, private only for my newsletter. When I talk to people, and I've done this, by the way, for years, probably 15 years. So this is not new, because a lot of people go, well, you're Diane Hockman. No, I did this back in the day when I was still paddling diet pills out of my trunk, which I've kind of come full circle to do it. But I would meet people and I'd be like, oh, I have a great newsletter all about my journey on weight loss and everything. Let me get your email. You want it? So I just always invite. Most people, they'll invite to look at the opportunity. I invite to get them on my newsletter, because if I get them on my newsletter, I can talk to them about what I'm doing 365 days a year. If I get them to a presentation and they say no or they balk, it's really hard to keep following up because it starts to get awkward. The average networker won't, because in my method, I feel let's say I send an email to 500 people, right? And let's say 100 open, and let's say 5 respond, okay? I just got rejected by 495 people and didn't feel an ounce of it. I just know I got 5 sales today.
That's right.
You see how I tilted it from my own mind? Because
perspective.
Yeah, so I've just rotated the game.
Yeah.
If I went out and called 495 people 500 people over the course of the week, I would get rejected over and over and over, and it would feel heavy, and it would take hours on end. When I collect the people and get them into my list, I'm able to email them. And then when I email them, I'm only hearing from the people that want to talk to me, just like this course. Guys, there's only like 27 of you that took the course, right? It's not a lot of people. I didn't push it real hard. I just said I'm doing it, right? Well, I got rejected by 4,452 people or something. I don't feel bad. I just know that this group of people at this time wanted to learn this skill. And I get out for an hour and a half and I made like $700. I'm not rich. I'm not going to the Bahamas, but that's not bad chump change, right? Or if your company launched a new product and you were able to send out an email like, this is great, there's a new product that does this, this, and this. If you wanted to be one of the first people to order, let me know. It's only in pre-launch, whatever. And if you got 10 orders, it's like top of the heap.
Yeah. Okay.
So everybody's like, oh, how do you qualify for everything? How do you always win the contest? How do you do? I just got a trip to Mexico. How do you do this? The list. So.
Thank you.
Let me see. There's a couple questions before we move on. The chat. Okay. Good. Okay. So you guys all with me? You all follow the concept. It's so simple. It is so simple. Okay. We're going to go over here. We're going to go over here. You're going to see my shocking list. I don't even think I have any opt-ins today because I didn't do anything. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. Yeah, I have more people unsubscribed than subscribed today, so it's kind of pathetic. What I also do is, guys, just so you know, I go on runs and I'll go out and I'll really promote my list and I'll get a couple hundred leads, and then the rest of the time I'm lazy. So just so you guys know, so it doesn't look like, who's got 1 subscriber today, I'm taking a class from her, you know. I can go out tomorrow and get 200 leads if I want. I don't push everything all the time. What I do is I rotate around. So if I'm really hitting my list up and I really want to build it up, I might do a giveaway. I might just do a big promotion. I might say you have to be on my list to be in a contest. I might tell them there's naked pictures in there, not of me for that. Except for a couple weird guys. I got a couple weird guys floating around, but everybody not. So anyway, so here we are inside of my autoresponder. And what I want to do first is get you that, signature file. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to turn off my screen for a minute. I want to make sure there's nothing weird on my notepad. Oh no, it's the letter I wrote to you guys. It's okay. You never know what you're writing to someone, and then I mean, there's nothing too weird, but it could be, I don't know. Okay. Okay. This is the letter I wrote to you guys. So let's get rid of it. Or let's just file. New. Don't save. Okay. This is my my signature file. Okay. It's my name, my phone number. Everybody's like, you put your phone number? Yes, I run a business. I want people to call me and ask to buy things. This phone number, though, is a Google Voice phone number. If you guys have never signed up for Google Voice, they're free phone numbers in your local area code. And it's just voice.google.com. You have a Google account, you have access to this. Except for maybe Anastasia, I don't know if they have it in Greece, but everybody else, you have access to that. What it does is it, when they call, it actually forwards to reach me on my main phone number. So I also can set my call out with that number if I don't want someone to have my real number. But my feeling is all the marketers have it. What the hell? So the auto dialers. Okay. I have some links to my social media content. Anybody notice what's familiar about, what's the same about all of these? What's the same about all of these?
It's your name.
Yeah, it's my name. Now, it doesn't matter if it's your name or a company name or whatever, but I want people to be able to locate me everywhere. Nobody ever has to guess what my Facebook is or what my Instagram is. Most people have all these cockamamie names, or they're on Instagram with 17 accounts with bots and all kinds of stuff that they're trying to beat the system with. Okay, everybody knows where I am. Somebody be like, my name's Sally Smith. I can't, like Greg Smith, actually. I can't get my name. Great, just call it Greg's World or Greg this or Greg, whatever it may be. If you already have it all set up, that's okay. But I do this very, very, very on purpose. Any new site that's going on, I want my name, okay? And if I have a book that I'm working on, and I have a domain, and I've been running around grabbing all the accounts. I want everybody to be able to find them. So I have links to my social media accounts in my signature file. Why do I? Because when people check you out, they want to sniff you. Okay, what does that mean? They want to check you out. Like they got on your list and they're kind of like, oh, I kind of like this Susie chick. Now they want to sniff you. You have to allow them and show them where to go to find you. If you direct them, you're directing them where you want them to go. If you don't direct them, they're going to run amok and start Googling. You don't know where they end up. And maybe there's somebody else named Susie Bills who's a porn star or something. I don't know. But I've heard crazier stuff. Yeah. So, okay, where did that chat go? People are asking things. Okay. Yeah. Good. So I have now, if you don't have all of these channels, doesn't matter. Just put what you got. You don't have a website? Great. You don't have a YouTube? Great. Put what you got. Okay. Do you have to put your social media in your signature file? No, but if you're a networker, you should. Okay. Now, you kind of have to have a disclaimer kind of like this. The sender of this email receives compensation when products and services featured herein are purchased. Your results are unique. Your results will vary, you know. But what I do is I make it a little tongue-in-cheeky and I have some fun. I'm bent on helping people like you make money. The sender of this email, blah, 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 blah. Parts of this email are an advertisement. I don't have to say this. I just do it on purpose. But most of it is just a nice chick trying to help you. It's the law that I tell you that I might make some money, and then I tell you that you may or may not. Funny thing is I told the truth before it was the law. Cookie me. You've given me your information to communicate. By the way, I added this recently because of the thing in England with the, I forget what it's called. Everybody was freaking out like the world was going to end because
like the email.
Yeah, there was new laws in England about stuff. You've given me your information to communicate with you, and I guard it dearly. If for any reason you don't want to hear from me, just scroll down and click the unsubscribe button. And by the way, any results mentioned in this letter are not typical. I've been doing this, so I have to change this. Look, I'll change it on my thing. I've been doing this for 20 years and have acquired many skills. The likelihood of your achieving these types of results is small, but possible. So I share the info just in case you're the one. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't want anybody ever saying Diane Hockman said this or Diane Hockman took my $27 and gave me nothing and that email stuff didn't work, because the letter said I'm going to make money if you click. My results are not typical because I worked my tushy off and you probably won't do it. I mean, I literally say You probably won't do it, but I'm sharing it in case you're the one. Now, do you guys have to be cheeky like this? No, that's my personality. You could write something very nice, very friendly, but you do need something like this, okay? You have to tell them that you are compensated when people click links and buy products and services, okay? And I highly encourage you to have something about results are unique, your results will vary. You might tell, and I'll give this to you guys.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in, give me till the end of the week, and I'll have it thrown into like a membership site thing that you guys can go access this files of this stuff. But just so you guys see, you need to have a disclaimer. I encourage you to also have some links and stuff. And I also hate this little box. It's annoying.
It's really tiny.
Yeah, it's super annoying. For 20 years, since we're here. Okay. Not 29, I'm not that old, that's getting there. My logo's here. Okay, I do not broadcast to social media. Here's my archive. You guys jot this down. archive.aweber.com/Diane Hockman. I'm pretty sure there's like 1,700 letters here, going all the way back to 2009.
Wow.
I don't know if I should get this course. What am I going to get at?
So just to, you said archive.aweber.com/Diane Hockman.
Correct.
Perfect.
Right up here if you guys can see.
Perfect.
My recommendation is you kind of bookmark that link and just kind of have it handy. One of my favorite uses for something like this is just scroll through and look for a idea for a headline, for a subject line. You can go, if you go all the way back, those letters weren't that good back then. They get better and better and better. Some of them are great, some of them are bad. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because one, my logo shows up here. If you don't have one, it won't show up. And two, you can turn on or off the ability for people to subscribe. So the reason why I like the archive is because let's say somebody asked me about the Zoom thing that's going on right now. I can just go directly to that letter. It's scrolling. We got there. Okay, and I can send them the link that's up here. I'll say, oh, here's the letter I just sent out to my list. While you're over there reading this, on the left-hand side, you can opt in and make sure you're on the list.
Okay.
Okay. I can go connect to any letter that I want to send someone, and it becomes a link. I don't tell everybody about the whole thing. If somebody's smart and they figure it out, that's it. Okay. So
Awesome.
we got to get moving along. We got to get moving along here. I'm blabbering, but the concepts are more important than the technology, guys, because they have training. They have tons of training. They have help. So the concepts are more important. So let's do this. Let's go home. Let's go home. There's a place like home. Okay. Under messages, okay, I use this in a very rudimentary way. There's all kinds of fancy technical things you can do. I don't do them because I don't have no time to do them. Drafts would be if you wrote a letter and didn't finish it in your drafts. Broadcasts, these are the letters that you send out one at a time. I call it writing live. Okay? These are the letters that I sat down and wrote and sent out real time, not anything that was pre-planned. Okay? Then you have split tests. I'll explain what it is. You can mess with it or not. Split test is when, like, maybe I read a letter, but I have two different subject lines and I want to see which one opens more people open, so I can split the letter. Campaigns is the new version, and follow-up series is the old version, where you pre-write a set of letters and you load it and you actually can time when the letters go out. I'll show you an example of that. Here, Greg, I'll give you a treat. Is it this one or no? Yeah. This is an old follow-up set from my mentor. And what you see is we preloaded the letters and then we tell it how many days after the one before, etc. So you might be writing letters and then loading them in here, and you're going to tell it send right away, send 2 days later, send 3 days after that. Or sometimes you get a letter set from your upline or somebody else, or you buy a letter set. And when that's the case, you're going to actually load it. Let's see. See if it, I moved it around a little bit, so I want to make sure I can find it. Yeah. They give you a code. Like I could take this whole letter set and export it and give you a code, and you could load it right into your autoresponder. So you can hire a copywriter to write a set for your whole team. I do that for some people. You can buy letter sets. Sometimes an upline or somebody will give you one. And so what we're doing, and again, remember, focus on the concepts. You can always go to help and find out how to do this. But if I could give you a code, see this code? I could give you this code, and then you could come to this part of your autoresponder, which would be under follow-up series. And you scroll down to the bottom. I'm turning it back off, by the way, and put that code right here and load follow-up series, and it goes whoop, and it goes it. For those of you that are in MLSP, they give you a letter set, and this is how you load it. Okay, and that letter set does promote My Lead System Pro. Your uplines a lot of times have letter sets. If they use email marketing at all, you can ask them. That's how you load it. So you can have pre-written letters, either in campaigns or follow-up series. I use the old follow-up series because it's what I'm used to. Let me go to a different list so you can see it sitting wide open. If there's anything here. Okay. Yeah, like this one, I only have one pre-written letter, right? So I can create a message here, type it out, and then I can put it, I can add it, and tell it how many days later I want it to send. Okay, so if you're, let me stop the share for a second. Let's say you're busy, like you work a job, okay? You could pre-write all your letters and load them up and set them up, okay? Or you can hire someone to write letters for you, which is great. And then it just does it automatically. It just automatically, somebody goes into the list, they're automatically getting these letters. You do nothing, okay? And I know people that literally have 365 letters loaded in there, and it just goes, okay? You absolutely can do that. And that's really cool because it's kind of a set it and forget it. It just keeps making offers to them, so on and so forth. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy ass. I'm afraid to say it. So I write real time because I don't have the patience to set them all up beforehand. Do I recommend that to everybody? Not necessarily. It depends on what you're selling and how you're selling. If anybody wants to do an advanced, like one-on-one session on this type of stuff for you specifically, reach out to me. I do them very reasonably. So you can kind of go pre-done. You're going to pre-do them. Pre-done, I bought them. Pre-done, my upline gave them to me. Or you can do the Diane Hockman School of Fast and Ninja Marketing. Ninja Marketing. And you can do what I'm about to show you now, because I'm going to teach you a little bit about formatting letters. I'm going to teach you how to set up your very first letter. And then we'll have a little time left to do some other stuff. So does anybody have any questions so far? Do you guys understand the difference between what's called a broadcast, which is I can write a letter right now to my list? Maybe we'll write if we get done with the first letter in the setup, maybe we'll write my list live together. Okay, that would be, I write a letter, and it goes out to everybody. Okay, pre-written letters, I write 10 of them ahead of time, I load them up, and it's set it and forget it. Very simple. Now, here's where it becomes kind of cool. Let's get rid of this. Let's just do file. New. See, for my personal newsletter, which is like me just talking to people, I like to broadcast, okay? I like to tell them what's going on today. I like to talk about, it was a sunny day in Connecticut. It was only 52 degrees this morning. I thought I was going to freeze my tushy off on my walk. You know, I'm talking about current things, what course I'm teaching, what this, what that. Let's say I wanted to do a team training series. That I want to do a follow-up. Because I want to write it one time, and then I want to set it up so that when a new person joins the team, we put them in the autoresponder, and every day they get a letter. Can you guys see my screen right now? You can't.
No.
No, I didn't turn on my share. Oh, okay. I'm typing it, but you're not seeing it. The team training series, I probably want to pre-write that, right? Because I want them all to get the same training. A customer follow-up series. Let's say you guys sell pickles, right? You sell pickles, and I always pick something ridiculous to be selling. And then you to follow up and remind them how delicious the pickles are and how to eat the pickles and what you can eat pickles with. Okay, so those are the types of things where we want to pre-write the letters, right? And what this is doing is, think about it. For those of you that have teams, how many times do you repeat the same thing over and over and over again? Or in your case, you have clients. How many times do you repeat the same thing over and over and over? This is a way to give them additional support without taking more of your time, which is really powerful. Yes, it takes a little time to write it, but once it's in place, and oh, secret guys, some of you guys might be thinking, well, I'm not a good writer. So you put, hey, here's today's video, click here, and then you link them to a video. It doesn't matter. The point is that the email is going into their inbox, delivering the content that you want them to have. So you could do team training, you could do customer follow-up series, you could do leadership, you know, like all your stars people or something like that. Usually with leadership, it's a broadcast, okay, list. So you can let them know what's going on from corporate or whatever. You can do a non-active customer. You can take old customers that have been inactive for a while and you can put them into a different list. And you can maybe only follow up with those guys like once every other month or once a quarter at the hot times of the year. So that one's usually a broadcast, right? Because you don't want to be pesky. Oh gosh, I can think of 1,000 ways to use this. Free reports, right? You can have the report in the first letter that they get. Free video series, challenge, like let's say you're running a challenge on, the last one I saw is water drinking challenge. I find them all fantastical. How hard is it to drink water? You pick up, you go like this, you go, water drinking, actually that was iced tea, I forgot. Water drinking challenge, but hey, you know, whatever. A challenge would be like pre-written, you know, a follow-up series. And you guys can ask me about more usages. There's so many. Let's see, you guys are sitting something. Yeah, non-active customer list is a great way. One of my other favorite things to do is do all kinds of things like I'll go through and find everybody that joined my list in September last year and wish them a happy 1-year anniversary. I'll find everybody that, you know, their first name's John, and I'll send out a goofy email only to those people. There's all kinds of things you can do. So some ideas, okay, some ideas. Trying to move this. So when we get started, let me go back over here to DianeHogman.com. Whether or not you're going to broadcast or whether you're going to have a pre-written list, you have to have a letter in there that's the first letter. So if I'm going to broadcast live, I still want them to get something, because if they sign up and they don't get anything, they forget about me. Okay? So every list always, even if it's a broadcast list, has to have something. This is my first letter. It's been my first letter probably for 10 years. I probably should look at it and edit it and do something. But right now, it's my first letter. And it's been here. And you'd be surprised at how many people write me back off of this letter. Now, for me, guys, I want the communication to go two ways. I don't just want it to, because a lot of people have these letters that just link you to something to buy. I'm a networker. I want people to read something and be moved or stirred or entertained or want to work with me, that they hit reply. I'm constantly telling them to hit reply. I actually want to talk to people. I would like to enroll people or sell them things. So I'm constantly encouraging them. So this right here, this little subject line, it's cheeky again, but that's because there's nobody on the list who doesn't know who I am. So therefore, I want to kind of shout at them in their inbox to go, hey, it's me, yo, open up, okay? If I were running ads, would I do that? No, because generally speaking, from your ad, they don't even know who you are, and that's a little cheeky. So I'm positioned so that I can be a little funny, a little forceful, a little silly, a lot of love junk, you know, like, I love you. You should see, sometimes I'll just send a letter and I write in huge letters, I love you. I will get like 700 responses. It's wonderful. I'm feeling low. If nobody likes me, if I've had a bad day, I use my list. Okay. So my letter, really glad you're here. Hey, really glad you're here. You're getting this letter because you visited my blog, attended a webinar, or hang out with me. Oh, there's no hangouts anymore. Let's get rid of that. See, let's edit my letters on your dime. Or perhaps you opted into one of my info product sites. Thank you. And I want you to know that this will be the first and only canned letter you will receive from me. Don't do canned one-size-fits-all mass marketing. Nope, not me. I do live real-time stuff, which is why one week you may get 5 emails from me and another week absolutely nothing. The last thing you need is another bunch of timed sales messages designed to get you to buy stuff. I will only write you when I have something to say or something cool to share. So you can know that my email is worth opening. Sound good? Hope so. Listen, if I can do anything at all to help you out, let me know. I have live public classes every week and private classes for all my team members, including my dreaded hot seat coaching calls. So I'll see you around the net. You can find me pretty much everywhere. If you need me, give me a shout. Diane. Okay. Now, this letter is designed to chill them out. It's designed to make them smile a little bit. It's designed to let them know that they can hit me back up if they need anything. And it doesn't try to sell anything immediately. Again, if you're an internet marketer, you need to, if you're an internet marketer and you're running cold traffic, modus operandi is to try to sell them something as fast as possible before they leave. They're going to leave. I'm the opposite. My modus operandi is to build a relationship and trust with them so that when I invite them to a webinar, I invite them to take a look at something, or I say, hey, this is a great deal, they click. So I am the opposite than internet type stuff. This is extremely effective long-term for marketers. I have people that have been on this list since 2008. People that have literally been on this list for 11 years, opening my emails. You know, and Greg might be one of them. You know, he's been here a long time. Top marketer. So let's talk a little bit about your first letter. Your first letter, again, doesn't have to be as fancy as this. It could be, hey, you made it. So glad you're here. I'll be sending you out some terrific things about blank. If you need anything, let me know. Just hit reply. Talk to Sally. It's that simple. But here's what's really important. When you write email, it has to become what I call cotton candy for the eye. It has to be very readable and very consumable, which means we're leaving a lot of spaces okay? And we want it to read aloud. Notice I just read it aloud to you guys. We want it to read aloud and sound like we're talking to them. How do we know if the spacing is right? You always, 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 people don't do this and then they get stuck. When you write a letter, before you send it, read it aloud, because when you read it aloud, you will hear your typos, you will hear your mistakes, and you will hear when your spacing is right. The other thing we're not doing is we're not writing wide. Notice that we're not writing in blocks. We're downward, because when somebody's on the phone, what are we doing? Scrolling, right? We're scrolling. If you have a mouse, we're scrolling. So we can't, you don't want to go wide because the eye is moving down. In a book, the eye moves this way, sideways. Online, on a computer or a phone, the eye moves down. So you want the copy to go down instead of wide. Let me check. I think somebody said something a minute ago. Wow, Greg says January 8th, 2008 was his first letter.
Wow.
Crazy. That's crazy. I'd like to take all the credit for your success, Greg. I'm so kidding. Yeah, showbiz. And now with all these kids, I like the powder bomb, by the way, Greg. That was absolutely terrific. His child made something at school or something, and it exploded. And it was like the whole backseat of the car was like baby powder or something. Better than spaghetti sauce, you know. So first letter. Susie, why don't we write your first letter real quick?
Okay.
You wanna? I'll turn off my screen share. And let's go over, and you can share your screen, and I'll show you how to get to that place.
Okay. And so how do I share my screen?
Scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the green button.
There it is. That was easy. There's all my screen. Okay. So how do I get back to?
You need to go to your browser to go back to Aweber. You have a Mac. I don't know how they work.
I do. Let me see here.
So go to your browser, to your Safari or whatever it is this week.
Yeah. There.
Okay. So what I want you to do is go to click Home.
Do you see that now? Okay.
Yeah. On the gray bar, click Home.
Okay.
Go over to Messages, which is the second choice there on the gray bar.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. On the right, click on Create a Message, the green button.
There it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And drag and drop the email builder. There's a couple different editors depending on what you want to do. A lot of people ask me, because some marketers have like graphics and images and all other stuff. I don't, and any serious email marketer doesn't. Sometimes images cause your deliverability to go down, but also, here's why I don't. I write to my list like they're my buddies. So if you're writing to your friend, do you have big graphics all over it, or do you just shoot them an email?
Yeah, shoot them an email.
If you want to come off like a big fancy company, then you should have some graphics and stuff. If you want to come off as, you know, somebody just friendly and familiar, then you shouldn't. Always put yourself, guys, in the eyes of the, you know, think about the experience of the person that you're bringing in, okay? What experience do you want them to have? You might want them to feel like you're like this big conglomerate and you're really like a chick at the kitchen table. Okay, then let's graphic it up and make it look fancy and whatever. If you want them to feel like you're just Susie, you know, Susie down the block, then you keep it pretty simple. And all of those experiences are fine. Just kind of decide what kind of feeling you want to create. My feeling with my audience is very down home. It's very over, hit me up. And people are afraid of that because they think that everybody's going to email you in a day. They don't. Everybody, same thing with the phone number. Everybody thinks that everybody's going to call me. They don't. If I get 3 phone calls a week, it's a lot. I mean, people hit me up on Facebook, and it's not overwhelming or anything like that. And besides that, I want to talk to everybody. The key. Okay. So now, see where it says insert your subject line under the AWeber logo on the top left? AWeber logo, top left, stripe, and then right below that it says insert your subject.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to make a subject line there, and it could just be hi, ... put 3 dots,
Okay.
and then capital I, it's Susie, ...
Okay.
and then all capitals,
Okay.
open up, exclamation point.
Oops. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Now go down into the main body where it says hi, first name, fix.
Yeah.
Okay, just erase all of that.
Okay.
Okay. Now you did the thing I didn't want you to do. But
Oh,
that's
sorry. Well, I can undo it.
Go undo.
So just get rid of all the
Get rid of the text, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Guys, on the left, there's all these blocks you can pull over and all this stuff you can do. And so she was going to have to pull over a block, and then that's where people get stuck.
Yep.
I teach at the lowest common denominator, the simplest, most basic way. And then you can get fancier or we can do more advanced stuff. But the first time, my job is to get you up and running. It's not to teach you how to be fancy.
Okay.
Tonight anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to just kind of dictate to you, and you come back and edit this however you see fit. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to say, hi there, ...
Oops, I'm still in capitals. One moment. Okay.
Now do return twice. Down.
Okay.
So glad you decided to join my newsletter. Period. Down.
Okay.
I have lots of great tips coming your way. Yeah.
Okay.
Down. Be sure to open my emails to get them. Period. Okay, you got an extra line in there between, yeah.
I triple down. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Down.
Okay.
And of course, ... And just fix your A, capitalize that.
There we go.
And then go down. If you need me.
Down.
...
Oh, gotcha. Oh.
Yep. When you guys take a copyrighted course, I'll explain all this ... And then in all capitals, just shout, exclamation point.
Okay.
Down, probably a couple, like 3 or 4.
Okay.
See you soon. And it's ya, not you. See ya soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Exclamation point. Down, probably 3. Susie.
Okay. All righty.
Now, I want you to highlight all the copy. You know what I mean? Okay. See up in the toolbar up there, it has the number 12.
Yes.
Click that, pull down. Okay, I want you to change it to 14.
Okay, there we go.
Now, all we just did was make the copy bigger. Guys, the average audience in this industry is over 40 and wears glasses. Look at the 2 of us. So I didn't mean to assume anything about saying we wear glasses. So you want to make sure that your font is big enough that people can read. So I always up it to 14 or 15.
Okay.
Now, Susie, what I want you to do is put your cursor at the end of your name
Okay.
And I want you to scroll down, like go down several spots, like keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, stop. Now, do you see on the left-hand side, it says signature,
Yes.
little pencil? You can pull that over, you drag it over, drop it right there, and that would put the signature if you had set it up already. Okay, so
Perfect.
if you blah, 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 right? You could have your picture there, you know, like just the way it is right there. You can click on that and add your picture. And
okay. And then all the links and all that stuff. Like
yeah,
you had.
so if you had created them, they would show up. We haven't created them yet.
Okay.
They haven't shown up yet.
Okay.
And then if you hit on the top left, or no, wait, top bottom, scroll down a little bit. Like not in there, but on the whole page.
On here?
Yeah, just scroll down on the whole page. Okay, hit preview and test up on the top right green box. Okay, go back to editor on the top right blue. Okay.
Undo?
No. This editor is a little different than I'm used to. Put save as, I guess.
Save?
Yeah, is it down on the bottom right?
Bottom right, yeah.
Okay,
Save.
I just couldn't see it. That's why I was like, what? It's missing.
Save or save and exit?
Save and exit.
Okay, there it is.
Okay. So now, what we want to do is go back up to the messages function, messages up on the gray bar.
Okay.
And pull down the menu.
Okay.
Go to follow-up series.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. No, that's not what we want to do. Go to messages and drafts. Sorry, they made it fancy now. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to add this, pull down send options next to your email there. No, in the blue. Yeah.
Oh, the big button. Okay.
No. Add to a follow-up series.
Okay.
Okay, and then it says, yep, click add to follow-up series.
Okay.
Slowly.
Thinking about it.
It'll get there. So what we've done, guys, now is in an hour, well, hour 22. We might run slightly late, you know, sorry, but I want to get these ideas into you.
Yeah.
What we did was we set up her basic autoresponder. We have not created a signature file yet, but she'll do that after, and she's going to add that. We've written her first letter. So she literally, at this moment, is ready to rock and roll. She had the signature file in there. And the truth is,
okay,
it's no big deal if she doesn't have the signature file just yet. So now, all of you, one of the things you want to do, turn off your screen share for me, Susie. Please. If you go on your phone, everybody do this, and go either in the Play Store on Android or on the iPhone. It's the, whatever you call it, the App Store. I want you to do a search for Aweber, A-W-E-B-E-R, Atom, A-T-O-M. And everybody after this, tell me if you found it okay. Is anybody having a problem finding it? Aweber Atom, A-T-O-M. Because there is another Atom app that's for movie theaters, so you don't want just Atom. Somebody else let me know if you found it okay.
See here. Yep. Atom.
Yep. Go ahead and download that. And what you're going to do is just log in with your Aweber login. And it's going to give you guys can see, it's just a little opt-in form that goes with your list. So Susie, do this. After you've downloaded it, let me know.
Okay.
It's open up, and I want you to go ahead and sign in, and you're going to add me to your list. You're going to see how easy it is.
Okay.
While Susie does that, I'm going to show you how to add someone to your list manually over here. If you're on your computer, so if you're on your phone, you're going to use this app. If you're on your computer, just click Add Subscribers. Manually add up to 10 subscribers. And I can put their name, and I can put their email. I mean, you can, all this other junk, I don't worry about it. And then you hit Add Subscriber. Okay? And that's it. They're added. Now, the reason why I like this over that is because, and I'm going to show you how to turn off your double opt-in thing, the thing that asks them, after they subscribe, asks them if they want to subscribe again. If you subscribe them on this, it'll automatically send them your letter. If you subscribe them on your computer this way, it's going to send them a confirmation letter.
Okay.
Guys, I forgot to show you that. If you go to list options and list settings, where it says confirmation message, turn them off. Okay, so list options, let's do it again so everybody sees. List options, list settings, confirmation message, turn those off. Okay, turn them off. Because you're building a small little familiar list. You don't need to protect yourself, and they don't need to double opt in. You're going to lose most of your leads if you leave the double opt in on.
Okay.
Okay. Is it downloaded?
It is, yes. And it says select. I logged in, and then it says select a list, and it says Susie's newsletter. Because
you only have one. And then it should give you the little opt-in form.
Yep.
Okay. And then just put Diane. And the email is dianehockman@gmail.com.
Spell your name right, that's helpful. All right. Yep, got the green check mark.
Great. So I'm just waiting for the letter to come in. Yeah, and there it is.
Perfect.
There it is. Now your response is still on, so I got the confirmation. But if it weren't on, it would have gone back to
okay.
Your first letter, and I should get it momentarily. Let's see if it comes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So your first way, and this isn't a list building course, this is just your basic setup and concepts. Yep, it says, hi, it's Susie, open up.
Yay!
Okay. Your first job, okay, is to set up the autoresponder, set up the first letter and the signature. And then what you want to do is ask some people you know, hey, I just started a newsletter. Would you like to be on it? It is nothing more complicated than that. Go gather 10 people that way. Go gather 20 people. Go gather people on social media that you're talking to. You're having a conversation. Hey, I have a great newsletter. Now, guys, the people who actually have something going on in their business and feel like they have something to say or invite to, they generally don't have a problem with this. It's the people that don't have anything going on and feel like I have nothing to say, that's when you're going to be challenged. You won't utilize your tool. Once you're building up this list, and it should be an everyday thing, there's not a day that goes by, except for today, I only had like one lead. I think I just got another one. So I just got another one. So I have 2 or 3 leads for the day. It's terrible. but I'm constantly building the list and combing my list. I'm getting rid of people off the list too. Anybody writes me back snotty, they're gone. And you know, hasn't opened in a while, they're gone. Because it's like, to me, this is my golden pot of delicious, wonderful information. I don't want just anybody to have it.
Right.
Okay. You may not have that philosophy, but let me show you guys and then ask me questions. As of right now, we've set the tool up. We've done the first letter. We've talked about the signature file. We've talked about setting up broadcasts versus follow-up series. We talked about the different types of uses. I think my screen share is on. Okay. We talked about the different types of uses for this, right? You can pre-write a team training, a customer follow-up series, a leadership circulation, so you can let everybody know things. The leadership circulation, by the way, for those of you guys that are a little more advanced, it's super awesome when you need to get the word out quick to your team about something, and or super awesome. And you can do Facebook chats too, but I like this when, like, if you're in an event and you need to communicate with everybody, tell your leaders, your star ranked people, make sure you're watching your email, because I'll let you know where we're going to meet, or I'll let you know where we're going to be. It's a lot of leverage. You can give away free reports, free video series, challenges. There's just all different reasons why you could have people opt in. I want to do a couple other things. You can create your own sign-up forms on here. This literally right here, there's actually a link. Well, let me just do it this way. I'm not going to do it with this, but you can publish it. You can make this form or any form that you build. Oh, this is the designer. I don't want that. You can make any form into a capture page. So if you really had to work rudimentary, you could create a page that looks like this, where people can put in their name and email. Now, a lot of people would say it's not good enough. I don't know. I built a fortune on stuff like this. So I don't think that way. I think like this, like get something up, get that list built, get something up. Do you guys know my blog? Because everybody says, well, you have a website and you have this. My blog got infected and it was down for a year. I didn't care. I was like, and then finally I was like, all right, I suppose I should get it fixed. Talking.com was down for a year. One of my highest earning years ever. Because nobody cares.
Yeah.
We all think we need the fancy site, we need the this, we need that, and we can't get going until, yeah, I have the site. I got to get the whole site redone soon because I look so fat in the site. Well, that's not what I want. I look so fat in the site. It's true.
Well, that's a good reason to get it redone.
Yeah, well, I'll just get the graphic. This site, this picture was taken at a Ray Higdon event, and I'm speaking at the one in October, so we'll get a new one. Plus, my hair's frizzly. So that's an excellent site. But yeah, I have a site. I don't care. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody's just wondering, what can you do for me? How can you help me? Can you help me make money? Can you help me lose weight? Can you help me financially free? Can you help me? So we need a way to talk to a lot of people at once, because otherwise we can't keep up. So yes, you can create sign-up forms. These sign-up forms also can be published and embedded in other sites, so you can put them on your blog. For those of you that have MLSP, you can connect your autoresponder right to the MLSP system. You also can use these forms on their blogs. For those of you that use ClickFunnels, you can connect right to ClickFunnels. It's all integrated. It's very, very simple to do. It is not complicated. It used to be very complicated. Nowadays, it's very simple. Yes, well, Jackie, it depends on what type of page that is. You can embed the autoresponder forms onto any HTML-based website. Blogs and stuff are very easy to do because they have what's called a widget to allow you to do it. There's so many different sites that you can connect this to. Do you need to have a capture page or website? Do you have MLSP? If you have MLSP, you should use Funnelizer and just build a simple, you know, Jackie's newsletter page. If you don't, that's fine. You can build a form on here, or you can just put people in manually. And the question that you just asked is, do you need to have a? You don't need to have a anything. I know people that have made millions of dollars with none of this. I like leverage. So I like to buy tools and use tools that give me additional leverage. But I just showed you 2 ways to put people on your newsletter without anything. And I just showed you a free capture form using this functionality here. And when you create the capture form, you can turn it into a little website. Just follow the directions here. Very simple. I want to show you like 2 more things because I said 9:30 and we're already running. Thanks, guys. But I think you guys are understanding everything. You are. The way you broadcast and you send out an email, like real-time email, is you click this button, create a message, drag and drop email. Come on, let's go. And it's the same exact thing that we just did when we created Susie's first email. I read a subject line. And again, this isn't a copywriting course. I could go into all the concepts about the copy. And the letters do not need to be long. Tonight's webinar on blank. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can register here. And then I would make a little link there. See you then, Diane. Oops, we're done. This literally, I'd make it bigger because it's too small. This literally, okay, what we want to do is constantly and consistently be in front of our list. We want to be at the top of their mind. And it doesn't matter whether your list has 4 people on it, 4,000 or 40,000, because the reader doesn't know the difference. The reader doesn't know how many people are on the list. If I just didn't show you how many people are on my list, you'd think there was tens of thousands. People do. And it's funny because I did a course not too long ago, and it's a JV with a company's venture. And I told them, I said, listen, everybody's going to see the size of the list because I'm their top affiliate and have been crushing it for years there and have beaten some of the biggest names in the industry and all the launches and stuff. And the guy was like freaking out when he saw what I do with a small number of people. Don't want it bigger. Guys, here was my whole philosophy. Mom, my kids are grown now. They're 23 and 26. Your son's 22, you said, right? So when your kids are younger, you want to spend all your time with your kids, or at least. Right. So I didn't want to be working 24 hours a day. I wanted to have leverage so that I could make a living and be with my kids. Now that my kids are grown, I want to be able to do all kinds of cool stuff. So I don't want to work 24 hours a day. So I want the leverage so I can do cool stuff. So the leverage was, tonight, I sent out 2 emails and I said, hey, I'm teaching a course, and I made $700 for what will end up being 2 hours work. Now, again, is that big money for me? Not at all. I love doing this though. But I want you guys to think about it. If you can make 20 sales from 1 letter because you built that list right, if you could enroll 10 people a month, how would your business change? If you could get, so many coaching clients or whatever it is you do, what would that mean to your business? If you could gather interested parties and put them in a place where you can talk to them all at once, how would your business tilt? So this is what I'm going to check the Q&A, and I'm going to leave you with a couple concepts tonight. Let's see. On the website that it asks for a sign up process, what is that used for? Terry, I don't understand your question. Can you rewrite it? Or I can actually open up the mic so you can ask me again in a second, verbally, because I'm not sure I understand the question. Here's why people don't do well with autoresponders. One, they just never set them up. Two, they are under the impression that they can't write the list until it's big. So they go, oh, there's only 40 people, it's not worth writing. That's when it's most critical. And three, they feel like they don't have something to say, so they don't write. And then they only write when they want to sell something. And that's the biggest mistake of all. If you don't, I hate this term because it's so overused, but provide value, you don't communicate, and you're not around regularly, when it comes time to sell something, people will ignore you. And you also train them, there's no reason to open your emails because it's only about selling you something. When you show up 3 times a week and send them out, I don't know what you guys are selling, but maybe it's sending them out a keto recipe. Maybe it's sending them out a great travel tip, or maybe it's sending them out organic gardening something, or maybe you're sending them out an exercise move, or whatever it is you're selling. When you're regularly communicating with them, and again, I could teach whole courses on all the types of copywriting that you can do, but when you're regularly communicating, nobody perceives the day that you're really trying to sell them because you've been there all along. When you don't show up, and you just show up when you want something, you're never going to build a list that trusts you. Now, you can easily grab you could go get a TED talk and send to them, like on YouTube. You can go find an article. You don't have to be the big creator of everything. What you need to do is be the person that cares enough for the people that joined your email list to send them things that would be helpful to them. And that's always my focus. I tell stories, I send them things that are helpful, I teach classes, I let them know what city I'm going to be in case they happen to be there. Like next stop is Miami, I have time to see people. I'm always letting them know what's going on. I sent out the Zoom deal. I don't make money on the Zoom deal. I sent it out to help people. I'm always showing up. And because I'm always showing up, I build relationship. People hit me back. They ask a question. By the way, every time somebody asks you a question, they write you back, it's a chance. Hey, Lou, it's a chance for you to sell them something. Hear that. When everybody gets nervous when somebody writes them back or communicates with them. When somebody communicates with you and tells you they have a problem or asks a question or needs help, like, well, they want everything for free and they always want to, they're bugging me. No, that's your chance to listen to them to find out what their problem is, and an opportunity to show them something that might solve their problem, often that you sell, that you can make money. So the key to the list is consistency. It's not size. I just proved that to you. My list is small compared to most of marketers of my caliber have huge lists on purpose, and consistency. And I truly believe service. When you come in service to the list, they perceive your selling as service. Somebody might want to write that down. When you come in service on a regular basis, the people perceive your selling as service. See, what was this course tonight? It's so cheap. It's this and that. It's a couple hours with a top dog. Was it selling or was it service? Which one was it? You could look at it however you want. But a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing that. Other people might be like, oh, she's charging people $27. That's that's the perception of the people. But if I come in service all the time, then when I say I'm teaching a class, they don't perceive that as a big pitch. And guess what? Then when I say join my MLM, they don't perceive it as a pitch either. And then when I say, buy this or become a coaching client or become this, they just perceive it as, oh, that's Diane. And they're used to me. And that, my friends, is my secret. It's not technology. I don't how to use the bells and whistles. I don't know how to use the bells and whistles with a lot of the things I utilize in companies that I make lots of money with. What I know how to do is continually, constantly, with leverage, communicate with people and make offers. And that's what most people are doing. They're not exposing enough people, and they are not making enough offers. And that will be the topic of another course: writing offers, making offers, writing copy, etc. And Lou Melch just said, you're right. That's exactly what Mark Holverson once told me. I don't know if you guys know Mark. May he rest in peace. In fact, it was just the 1-year anniversary of his passing. Mark is a genius. And that's it. So I have leverage because I have thousands. Any given letter that I write is generally open between 700 and 1,200 people, right? And if 1,000 people open my letter, out of 1,000 people, if I have a decent offer, I mean, I just came back from the big Tony Robbins dinner. Only 88 people in the world were invited to this dinner as affiliates for Tony Robbins and Dean. I always forget his last name. Graziosi. I can never say it right. I don't know why. It's like a mental block. And the who's who of the internet was in that room. And what was cool is the person who won the launch was a stay-at-home mom. She beat all the big boys, and I was like, yes! I was so excited. It was all men, and the chick. And that's it. And it was simply because she had a very nurtured audience. That's where it's at, guys. Does anybody, I know I kept you late, and I'm sorry, and I'm happy to stay longer, but I don't want to keep you longer. Are you guys getting the basic concepts of this? It's very simple. Rewrite some letters for some types of lists. For other types of lists, it's just a broadcast. The broadcast version that I do is the simplest, most basic, fundamental way to market that exists. It's super simple, super simple. And yet people manage to overcomplicate. I don't know why. You know, it doesn't have to be a big long letter. It doesn't have to be a fancy copy. I'm a good copywriter now after 20 years. I have a great following after 20 years. I started off with 10 ladies and bad writing. I started, and I just kept going. Anybody else, any questions? Susie, thank you for letting us use your account.
Thank you.
Fresh. And there's more, but you don't need more. All you guys got to do is get it started. So what we'll do is we're going to take the recording. I'm going to put it in my business center and get you guys all in there and give you the other, like the SIG file and stuff like that. Take me a couple days to get it done. And if you need me, later on you'll be able to ask questions in there, but for now you have my permission. Email me at dianehockman@gmail.com. Or Diane at Diane Hockman. Just use Gmail, safer. Or message me on Facebook. Go ahead and get your stuff set up. And what I want you guys to do is decide, I'm not going to let 2019 end without a decent list. We're heading into, and I know a lot of people want to know about lead generation, all that type of stuff. That's not the scope of this particular course. Capture pages is not the scope. Oh, Sarah's wrecking the kitchen downstairs. Capture pages is not the scope of this particular course. I'm trying to keep them small and inexpensive. I mean, I could teach a week-long immersion on this stuff. But when you keep it simple and make it people-focused, you're always going to win. So is everybody good?
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And now you've experienced, wait, let me check the Q&A over here because I see the chat. Okay. That's just, Terry, I'm seeing your question now, understanding the question. That's just like if you have a main website or anything like that you can fill it in. You don't have to. She was asking about where you needed to fill in your website if you had if you have a main website, that's where you put it, like Diane Hockman or SusieBills.com or something like that. If you don't have one or don't want one to show up, that's perfectly fine, because your signature files you can change for every list. So you can put links to whatever it is you want to link people to. This stuff just takes a little bit of practice. If you get stuck, hit me up, guys. Don't let it sit, just go, I'm stuck. But do your best and use Aweber has a live chat. Let me show you that before you guys go, because they're great. This out of the way. I'm not saving this, so as great as it is. If you go to help, okay, and they have all these, FAQs and yada, 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 right? Look, 24/7 chat.
Perfect.
Chat with our customer solutions team. They're awesome, very helpful. In fact, I recently had to interface with them on a couple of things. Very helpful. Also can call. Look at that. I happen to like the chat, but look, you can talk to human beings from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday to Friday, Eastern time. Isn't that crazy? Human beings that speak English. I don't mean that snotty. Right. I didn't mean that. I mean like not tech.
Right. Right.
Other
can help you out. Yeah.
I'm politically correct, people. I did mean not tech. So they have great support. So if you get stuck, I want you to become independent and utilize the support first. And then if you need help or you want me to take a quick look at something, I'm always happy to. Always, always, always. So I think we are good to go, and people will message me if they need it. Susie, thank you for letting me.
Yes, and thank you. I look forward to more of these little quick kind of
yeah, they're good. Just one night doohickeys.
Yeah.
I'm going to tighten up the next one I do. I talk too much. I love everybody. I can't help it. So.
Well, and that's what we love about you too, is you talk and share really awesome nuggets, shall we say.
Because I think the concept is more important than anybody can execute if you want to. But the thought process is where the money is. Anybody can look up how to set up an autoresponder.
Right.
But
right.
Not anybody can get the idea of how do you approach it. That's what I was always after with my mentors. I mean, I literally, Greg knows, I went every 2 weeks to see my mentor for 6 years.
Wow.
So I drove an hour and 45 minutes to go to him and have lunch and drive all the way back home. And the reason why is because I wanted his thought process.
Right.
I could care less about learning how to run a tool. And I really want you guys to hear that. Tools are a dime a dozen. This one's been around a long time, but they come and they go and they this and they that. The concept behind the tool and using the tool, that's what you're after, kids. And the concept behind why you want a list. The list will change your business forever. I'm telling you, I've lived the life of Riley for years now, and it's because of my list. And it's a little pathetic list, and it's still that could. It's really amazing. Relationships. And over time, first of all, if you put your mind to it, you guys could have a 500-person list by the end of the year, period, over now.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Right there.
And I think that's a reasonable goal.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying go get 4 million. If you have a list of 500 that know you, you're going to do decently well. If you have a list of 1,000, this is not a promise, and I'm not making an income claim or anything else or anything else. But from my experience, if you have a list of 1,000 people that actually know you and trust you, you're full-time.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, some of you guys are full-time anyway, but people that are looking for that, not full-time, on a yacht, but you can walk away from something. It can
Gotcha.
enough revenue because the list gives you leverage. It's like an insurance policy. So, all right.
Awesome.
I'm going to go
kick
that.
Appreciate it
so much, and we'll see you guys, and I'll get this information out to you by Friday or Saturday or so. If you haven't gotten it, it means that somehow you got out of the loop, and let me know, and we'll get it over to you. Okay? See you guys later.
Sounds good.